You are watching 3 Men in a Movie, Episode 6. Today we're going to take a little different take on this episode. So we're actually not going to review a movie that's come out recently, but we're actually each going to recommend a hidden gem. Something that you may not have seen, something that didn't get the attention that it deserved. We're all three going to recommend one. And then after that, we're going to give you some overrated movies, in our opinion. Something that got a lot of hype, but really wasn't all that great. So we're going to start with Byron. So what's a hidden gem that you found?
One of my first jobs, I was a projectionist at a theater. So as a projectionist, you put movies together, you put them together and stuff, and you view them. So me and my coworker at the time, one of the movies that we wanted to see was kind of different. Was an Adam Sandler movie called Rain Over Me. I'm the only one that has props, so this is it right here.
While you were being a projectionist, did you snip in any clips of inappropriate things?
Another story for another time. But I really like this movie because everybody knows Adam Sandler as a comedian. Has all these funny movies.
Who's Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler. If you ever seen Billy Madison or Big Daddy.
Oh, back when he was good.
Back when he was good, exactly. This movie actually takes a different take other than a comedy. It's actually a more serious, more drama-based movie. The actual plot, he had a family, he lost his family, went through a real traumatic experience, so he kind of like escaped from reality and kind of went to his own world. So pretty much he cut himself ties from like all his friends, everybody that he knew, even family, and he kind of just went off to his own world. And then one day, like his best friend ran into him, and he was like, oh, like I haven't seen you forever, this and that, but like, pretty much he kind of gave him the cold shoulder. So pretty much the whole movie is pretty much learning about what happened in his past and him reconnecting into the real world.
Who was his friend?
Don Cheadle's character.
All right. When did that movie come out?
I think the DVD release came out like 2007, so maybe 2006. I don't know off the top of my head, but
now,
should be around that ballpark.
Can you name a good Adam Sandler film since 2007?
Since 2007?
Rain Over Me, the director's cut?
I honestly can't think of it.
Rain Over Me, bonus footage?
I guess 51st Dates. That's probably before that, though. I don't know.
Oh, well, I was talking to you about it before we started taping, but there's also Punch Drunk Love. I just don't know if that was before or after that one. It was close, though, and that one was
good.
Close second to him.
What happened to Adam Sandler? That's what I'm wondering.
He got rich, man. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to get rich.
Quit being hungry.
Yeah.
So what's your hidden gem, Raul?
Okay, my hidden gem is maybe not as hidden as Rain Over Me, but it's definitely not like a box office breakthrough. It's not like a big smash hit. It's Whiplash. Whiplash was a really good movie, a really good story, plus really good characters in the way that they portrayed them. There's ultimately two major characters. There's the music teacher, who is played by J.K. Simmons. All right, J.K. Simmons. Good.
We're so good with names on this show.
So he plays like the biggest asshole ever. And you hate him, yet you want to keep watching him, which is part of why that movie's so good. Like, even when it ended, I still wanted to see more of him being mean to the student of his.
Yeah, so you identify with the main character.
Yeah. He's an asshole.
He reminds me of like a football coach that, kind of like Varsity Blues. Everybody hated the coach, but he gave him so many championships and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end, they kind of rebelled against him. That's what it reminded me of in Whiplash.
Yeah, it does have some of that, because his whole motto is kind of like tough love.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you great by really beating you down to shit. And if you survive, then that's what makes you a better person and a better student or a better musician in his terms. The name of the guy, help me please. The main character.
Can't help it, son.
Oh, help! Please!
We'll flash his name up right now.
Yeah. He was in Fantastic Four, and he's been in a lot of stuff. At the moment I can't recall, but he even did a great job too, because he was kind of battling against J.K. in the movie in terms of the characters, yet he was kind of slowly becoming him without realizing it. There's one scene in particular where he breaks up with his girlfriend, and the reasoning behind why he's breaking up with her after like practically begging her to go out with him the first time is a ridiculous reason.
I want to be one of the greats, and because I'm doing that, it's going to take up more of my time, and this is why I don't think that we should be together.
Kind of like the same kind of reasons of why J.K.'s character is such a jerk to all of his students. So, that one. If you want to see good cinema, good quality character development, and a good story with a good twist in the end and all of that stuff, Whiplash. Watch it. It's free. You don't have to pay for it right now.
So what about you, Hans?
So my hidden gem, it's Nocturnal Animals. And Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal are the main actors in it. And you know, the basic story is they dated 20 years ago. And she breaks up with him in kind of a super ugly way. So 20 years later, he sends her a manuscript for a book that he's written. And the book, as they kind of show the movie based on the book, is basically kind of mirroring his feelings for how their relationship ended and how everything happened within their relationship. And, you know...
Could have sent me a text. Wait. They didn't have that back then, huh?
Here's a book. Read it, and after 300 pages, you'll really know how it is. Like that, not worth it.
And so before the book, his character is kind of like a classic underachiever. And that's kind of why she breaks up with him, is because he's not achieving what she feels like is his potential. And so the interesting thing is, it kind of comes to the point where it's like his book is so amazing that it's what she always saw in him, and it's like he's making her fall back in love with him, and then there's an epic ending that kind of leaves you wondering what the real story was. And it's something I definitely recommend you watch. It's called Nocturnal Animals. My wife Francine and I came across it totally by accident. We were just flipping through Redbox and hadn't heard of it, and we were like, yeah, that sounds interesting enough. And then it was like a really epic movie, so it's something that I definitely recommend that you guys watch.
Any raccoons or?
There's no raccoons. There's no fun raccoons. There's no bats.
There's no actual nocturnal animals in the movie.
There's no nocturnal animals.
Baby animals?
No, no.
That's say 3 words?
It's, what's the word? The symbology. I think the word you're looking for is symbolism. I think that's a prelude for what's to come. So now that we've shown some love to some some underserved movies, let's hate on some stuff. So Byron, what's an overrated film?
I think mine would be Dark Knight Rises.
I'm more impressed that he owns the film that he thinks is overrated.
I had to complete the trilogy.
They still won.
Yes, they still won. But the only reason why I say it's overrated, because after coming off the Dark Knight, it was really hard for them to like go higher than that, just because the performance that Heath Ledger had, and then this whole chemistry that they had in that movie. And then like Bane was okay. You know, everybody sees in the comics Bane was a big old 6 foot whatever dude, super duper jacked. Yeah. And this one wasn't. So I was like,
So it's the same thing I've been trying to tell you guys about Ben Affleck and Superman. And you guys didn't seem to agree with that, and now you're giving me this Bane stuff?
Ben Affleck was not my favorite Superman.
I mean Batman.
But he was still 6'2", and he still had the weight. And he
doesn't look like he's 6'2", though.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Batman to me.
They got risers and boots, man. Yeah.
But when I see him, I'm like, I can take him.
So your biggest problem with Dark Knight is Dark Knight Rises is Bane?
No, it was Bane, and then like I don't think they could have came up with a story better than the Dark Knight. Like, so I think they put this.
So in comparing it,
so I got the super duper hype, like supposed to be better than the other two, but it wasn't.
Well, of course they hyped it that way. They wanted you to pay to see it.
Yeah.
That opening scene though was great.
With the plane and stuff.
Yeah, with the plane, stuff that
big budget money, son.
All right, cool. So what about you?
For me, I would say Manchester by the Sea. And I know I'm going to get backlash for this.
You've been getting it from me. Like, I don't understand where you're coming from with this. Backlash?
Yeah. I don't know.
3 dragons, is that what this is?
I mean, there was some great moments in Manchester by the Sea, but
very great.
But overall, the movie really dragged. And I was just waiting for Casey Affleck's character to get angry. I mean, I was waiting for him to quit being a monotone, doing kind of the same thing he did the whole movie. Like, I was waiting for a reaction. Like, that dude should have been pissed at some point. And it just dragged on for me. There was great moments and some great themes, but overall, the movie just dragged.
I think what they were trying to do, if I'm interpreting it correctly, is like making you feel that sense of anxiety, because if he gets upset and he blows up, then you can also have a release. And in that sense, he had no release. Well, I mean, for the people who haven't seen it, I don't want to say what he's so upset about, but I mean, if you think about it, once you watch it, like, yeah, you should be upset and blow up, but sometimes when things like that happen, like in real life, you kind of internalize it, and then you live this like very difficult existence. And I think that's what made his portrayal great. Besides the fact that Casey Affleck, I don't think ever blows up in any movie.
No.
He's real mild.
Yeah.
He needs to.
Even
I want to see some emotion.
Yeah. I think I first saw him in like Interstellar, and he was like, yeah, the same monotone dude.
Yeah. That's who he is.
So why did he win?
Well, I mean, the only way that I can explain it is they gave the award to him being that character, not really thinking of who he was before it, or who Casey Affleck is, or whether it was a stretch or not. And I think that's what it was. There's one scene in particular where I know I talked to you guys about it, and the fact that you brought this movie in for this tonight is bothering the heck out of me, man. We've had this conversation.
Way overrated.
The one scene with him and his ex-wife, like
I said, they had great scenes.
Alright.
But the overall movie
is
overrated.
Your pick.
Yes.
Your pick, sir.
I have a long list. And I was going back and forth. Which one should I pick? Because there's a few. Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints. That's the...
So this whole show was Raul's idea, but we just voted him off the show.
I've been wanting this chair since we started. Boondock Saints. Everybody loves Boondock Saints. It's a cold...
With good reason.
It's a cold... It's bad. It seems like, yes, it was low budget, and you can tell. And it almost seems like the story itself was low budget. Like, they could have spent a little more time developing those characters. Like, they had some more depth. It's like, oh, they're going to go and take on the mob and stuff like that. Like, you know, it didn't seem serious at all. There was no point where I ever felt like, ooh, are they in danger? Is this not going to work out for them? Like, I had no connection to them. And that bothered me. Like, you know, I started watching it, I stopped. And then I finished it just to see what happened, and there was like a bar scene where they fight and stuff. And I'm like, man, you know, Byron could do much better than this. I think we should reshoot Boondock Saints and let you choreograph the whole damn fight scene.
You know, that may be true, but
you're not gonna argue that part?
You like that?
I'm not gonna talk myself.
You like that? Okay, where are your stars? Can you still make it work?
Well,
and I don't know. I have Boondock Saints at home, and I'm part of the cult that loves this movie, and I completely disagree. I love the way the two brothers' characters are developed. I love their boneheaded friend and all the idiocy that he brings to the movie. And I love the fact that the reason it comes across as not planned, it wasn't planned at all. They're fighting the mob because they hit their friend. Like, there's no real reason for it except that he's our friend, you attacked him, so F you. And I love that. I love that.
So if I get in trouble, you guys are Boondock Saints the whole thing?
We're down, let's go. Alright. We'll drop a toilet on some mofo.
Yeah. Just don't expect a big budget for that either.
No.
It's like, here's some cookies and a soda, let's go and take on the mob.
thank you for watching episode 6, and then it's like before, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe.
And make sure you like us on Facebook, 3 Men and a Movie.
Okay, and because this episode was a hidden gem versus overrated, on the comments below, you can leave us your picks for hidden gems and for more overrated films. So, once again, this has been 3 Men
and
a Movie.
Ciao!